Hey, happy Festivus, everybody. It's Wrestling Uncensored. AEW Rampage is going on right now. We got a Trios Battle Royal. We just watched Smackdown. Johnny North is here. Let's talk some professional wrestling. Let's do it! Indeed. Whoa, where am I? That's not me.
There you go.
My
Now we're
goodness.
back on track.
I don't know what
Forget
happened
what you
there.
just saw.
Yeah, I don't know what we saw.
Oh, wrong screen.
Yeah. How are you?
Show them what we're watching. I'm great, I guess. I mean, I thought about making a nice list about all the grievances I have with all the people this year.
People.
And then I'm like, wait. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I complain weekly on this show anyway, so we always air our grievances. So, like, it's really no difference. Like, we just say it's the airing of grievances, but we air our grievances all the time. So,
yeah.
And I definitely have tons of grievances for this week. So, you know, no need to bash people tonight at least.
And I don't know what we could do for the feats of strength here to celebrate Festivus either. I mean, we're at a distance right now. There's going to be no wrestling. I think you can take him, Georgie. That's the best.
You got a bunch of toys out there. I'm sure your toys could fight it out.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm not going to. I don't. Oh, there's Johnny Hungy on my screen talking about feats of strength. There he is flexing. Johnny Hungy! I don't know who wins this battle royal. I didn't see spoilers for it. Oh, Johnny Hungy just got eliminated by Roosh. Not Hungy.
But Uno's still in it.
Yeah. Moxley's in it too.
I don't think Dark Order's going to win.
I mean, I don't see Moxley getting eliminated. Right?
Is Claudio still in it?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't see them losing.
I think they're the only team that's still complete, too. I just saw in this Battle Royal that we're watching, it's a Trios Battle Royal, so, I mean, it's just like a regular Battle Royal, except the guys are working as teams. Oh, Moxley just tried to dropkick Uno out of the ring, and it did not work. and now he's trying to lift Uno out of the ring.
It won't
I think
last
he'll
long.
be
I think Uno's
successful.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. There goes Uno.
I think he was supposed to get him up first time.
Yep. Just couldn't quite get there. That was bowling shoe ugly, as Jim Ross might say. Not a nice exit there.
This isn't live, I don't believe, no?
No, this was taped on Wednesday.
Okay.
It's a taped Rampage. There goes that guy. Claudio
Luther.
just eliminated a guy. What's that guy's name? Luther?
That's who it was, yeah.
Luther.
Jericho's buddy.
Yeah. There's the Butcher trying to eliminate Claudio. Good luck to you, Butcher. Oh, there are other teams coming out? Are there new people coming out now? Ethan Page?
Yep.
Oh, there are other teams.
It's gonna be a long match.
Wait. I don't understand.
Well, it's Battle Royal, right?
So guys are,
But
it's like Royal Rumble style?
Casino. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know how many
Which
teams
makes
are in this
sense.
thing.
I feel like there might be one or two more teams left.
Okay. And does the
Now,
winner
Trent
get
went
anything?
under-
The winner gets $300,000, right?
That's correct. Which is pretty much a great hot dog and a mighty handshake from Tony, I guess.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's not. You don't really get money. Thank you to all the members renewing here. I'm seeing people, Ray Cruz, people renewing their membership. Shout out to Angelo Contagonis watching in the chat right now. I see you, Angelo, member of the team. Join.ringsidereport.net if you have not already. Leor did. Leor's a cool guy. He knows what's up. Member of the Ringside Report universe. Thank you, Leor. Join.ringsidereport.net. If you have not already, subscribe to the channel. We're here every Friday night at 10 p.m. talking professional wrestling right after SmackDown. No matter what. Even on December 23rd, right? I guess a lot of people take time off. But why would you take time off? Wrestling doesn't take time off. Why would we? That's always how we've approached it. Big week in wrestling next week. Big. What?
To be fair, I think there have been some 24th, 25th. I don't believe there was a show a couple of years.
Yeah, that's possible.
When it wasn't taped, yeah.
If it was the 24th or the 25th, it's possible we don't do a show. But the 23rd or the 26th, for sure. You know?
No Raw, though, this Monday, though.
Is that really the case? Is that true? We get a break from Raw?
Probably the best Christmas present we got from WWE this year.
Oh, Angelo, don't spoil it for me. Angelo's spoiling the match for me in the chat. Don't do that to me.
I'm
Look,
glad I can't see it, or I'm not even going to look at the screen now.
Don't look at the screen, Angelo. Well, I'm going to tell you because Angelo just spoiled it for me.
Don't tell me. It's not over yet.
Well, it's not fair. How come you don't get to be spoiled? I was just spoiled by Angelo. Angelo, don't spoil me for the rest of the show, please. I don't want to be spoiled for the results of Rampage. Please don't put the spoilers in the chat, guys. I don't want to know. I want to be surprised.
Oh, Daivari almost out.
I didn't read the spoilers on purpose, Angelo.
Daivari is out now.
There goes Daivari, who's now, I think, an official member of the AEW roster, right? Arya Daivari.
I think so. I felt like it was announced a while back, but
Yeah? I don't know. I thought I
guess
saw
it
a
was just
headline. It's like, oh, you've signed a contract. I don't know. Maybe renewed.
well, it's good for a lot of people that got contracts recently. We saw Action Andretti as well.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He had a match this week
Well,
on... did he have a match, or he had something on Dynamite this
promo.
week, right? Promo,
We'll
yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah. This Battle Royal... Who's that guy that got eliminated, John?
It was someone from Ring of Honor. I saw him on the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. I can't remember his name right now.
You don't even know.
Well, everything's happening faster. AR Fox is on the apron right now.
Wait, was that Preston Vance, maybe?
Oh, was it Vance? Wow.
Because I don't know what he looks like without a mask on.
That makes sense. Because, yeah, like, you're not familiar with seeing him without the mask, so yeah.
Yeah, I think that was Preston Vance. They really haven't done a good job of explaining who he is. Because he was in the Dark Order as 10, but then he turned on the Dark Order and joined Andrade's group, except Andrade's not there anymore. So I guess it's
Rush's group now.
It's Rush's group now?
Yeah.
Is Andrade fully done with AEW?
I'm guessing just suspended or whatever. Like they're coming up with something new for him. Maybe. I don't know.
Pretty long suspension. Young Bucks beat the shit out of CM Punk. They only got suspended for like 3 weeks. I'm exaggerating.
I feel like it was longer. Yeah, longer than that.
That's not exactly what happened. Young Bucks went in. They're like, super kick party! And they just kicked CM Punk repeatedly. Knocked him unconscious.
Pile driver. Oh, I think Trent's out now too.
Yeah, a lot of people just got eliminated in this thing.
So is this the final 6 now or 5?
Is this it? Nobody else is coming out? Well, I already know who's going to win, so I don't really care anymore, John.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. I'll tell you who's going to win.
Well, looks like Claudio's going to beat Rush right here. Because Claudio's the ROH champion. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So they put over Rush as like the longest reigning ROH champion.
Okay. Are they going to try and do something with them?
Oh, Claudio. No.
Claudio almost eliminated by Rush, but it's not happening. I don't think so, Rush.
Oh,
Claudio and Rush on the apron. Rush chops. Claudio's not going to take
mad
that.
now.
Yeah, Claudio. Not worried about Rush's chops. Whoa. Those are some nice forearms from Claudio. Nice speed.
Well, Claudio's a very good worker. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Like, he knows how to hit.
Yeah, but those are really nice. Those are particularly nice. Even for him. Oh, and he eliminates him with an uppercut. There goes Rush.
Oh. I think all the members of the Blackpool Combat Club are still in this. AR Fox
just got eliminated. I don't know. Where's Wheeler, Utah? I don't see him anymore.
Oh, did Wheeler get eliminated? Okay.
Yeah. Now it's just Top Flight against Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli as the last 4 guys. So I guess it's between those guys.
So it was technically 3-on-2 for a little bit because AR was with them as well.
Yeah. Oh, Hangman is here.
Hangman cheating.
Oh, cheating to win. Hangman attacking Jon Moxley. Here comes security to separate them.
Why are they attacking Moxley? Like he's in the match.
Security attacking Jon Moxley for some reason. Because they're not really security. They don't know what they're doing. Do these guys now have to get eliminated? Oh, Moxley gets eliminated in the fracas. And now Hangman goes after him and keeps punching him in the head. And the security jumping in to try and separate them. Security pushing the refs out of the way, too. Why is the ref getting trampled by security? You see that? Referee Rick Knox was there, and security was just kind of trampling him in the melee.
I think it's like you said, these guys aren't actually security guys, so they don't really know what they're doing here.
I mean, make an effort.
Whoa.
Oh, Moxley just dove onto a pile of, wrestlers.
Yeah, with his knees first, it looked like.
Knees first, yeah.
That's fun.
But now Claudio's by himself in the match with Top Flight against him. I wonder what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. Spoiler.
Well, I think Claudio would win in the end. But I could be wrong. Find out.
Yeah, you could be wrong, John. You could be wrong. I don't know. You might be wrong. Just saying.
Well, they have him now.
Yeah.
Double team.
Yeah. End it.
2-on-1.
Thank you. Top Flight. It's a $300,000 battle royal. You would think Claudio, being a babyface and Moxley being babyfaces, they would have just given it to Top Flight because they need the money way more than Moxley or Claudio do, right?
Well, the ending would have been better if it was like faces against heels. Like, you
Yeah.
want one or the other, but not you want, well, either one is fine. Like, it's a very odd feeling. Like, you don't really, oh, it doesn't matter who wins. I guess Claudio more because, like, he's a champion and people know him more, I guess.
Yeah.
But given the fact that Darius wrestled Moxley on Dynamite, yeah, you think they'd give it the top flight, actually.
Yeah.
I still don't believe in them.
No. But it is weird to have just baby faces at the end. 2 babyface teams. I don't know why they did that. Because I
guess
feel
it makes
like
it
you would
more-
want Claudio and Moxley to win at that point.
Right. I guess it makes it more unpredictable. I don't know if that's their thinking on it, but where it's like it's clearly Claudio because they didn't have any strong like teams, so I guess they felt maybe have like an underdog team, and it's better to have a face team, I guess. So
And the winner of this only gets money. There's no title shot. There's no anything else. What is this division exactly? And there goes Claudio. No, he hangs on. I guess the division is kind of held up from the Elite and the Pac and the Brothers. Pac and the Brothers. Right?
For at least 2 more matches, I guess, right?
Is that it? Is that where we're at? It's 3-2?
Yep. After what just happened.
Claudio got eliminated?
Oh, Claudio got eliminated. They won.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Top Flight
Surprising.
win the thing. The $300,000 battle royal. So they win money. There's a briefcase with money in it.
Briefcase, yeah.
Yeah, there's just a referee. There's no security. It's just $300,000 in a briefcase. You don't need anybody for that. That's fine. No one's going to try and rob you. Arena full of people.
That was good, though. Surprising. Surprising they eliminated the ROH champion. But I guess it goes to ROH. Doesn't really mean that much.
No. Apparently Ring of Honor's not getting a TV deal anytime soon. Like, you keep hearing about it, but it's not happening. You want to talk about airing of grievances? Here's one of my grievances. Okay. Ring of Honor still existing as a brand. All right? That's one of my grievances. It shouldn't anymore. The wrestling company went under. You bought the rights to it. You bought the belts. And you're wasting my time on your TV shows. You're not progressing AEW championship storylines or AEW-centric stories. You're progressing these offshoot Ring of Honor stories that no one gives 2 shits about. It's wasting my time constantly on AEW TV. I don't care about Ring of Honor because there's a bunch of characters that wrestle for Ring of Honor that don't wrestle in AEW that are then booked on these Ring of Honor shows that I don't care about whatsoever. So why are you wasting my time with this Ring of Honor bullshit, Tony Khan? I'm tired of it. I know you're trying to showcase Ring of Honor and keep it alive to hopefully get a TV deal, but if there's no TV deal, let it disappear. Consolidate the championships just like you've done with Samoa Joe. I think that's a step in the right direction. Samoa Joe is the Ring of Honor TV champion and the TNT champion. Perfect. As a matter of fact, you should change your belt name to the AEW Television Championship. And that is the new belt that Samoa Joe should be holding going forward. Forget about Ring of Honor. Forget about naming your championships after the channel that you're currently on. As a wrestling company, that is a bad move. It is clearly sucking up to the network. Like, we love you so much, TNT. We're going to name a belt after you. We're with you forever, please. You know, it's It's weak. You got to get rid of that. But Ring of Honor, too. Ring of Honor needs to go away. If there's no TV deal, get rid of it. It's wasting my time. And you're sacrificing AEW for this Ring of Honor thing that's not doing huge business for you on pay-per-view. If you want to do a match with the FTR and the Briscoes, I mean, at this point, they've done it. So what else is there to do on these Ring of Honor shows, right? They've done it. They've done it to death. They've done the dog collar. They've done this and that. I guess you could do a cage in the next one, but there's a limit, right? What else do you really need to accomplish in Ring of Honor? It's over. Let it go. I've been saying this from the start. As soon as he bought it, I was like, okay, cool. So what did he buy? TV library? Oh, no, he wants to keep it as a brand. And then why would you do a second show? We're watching Rampage, which is your second show, and it sucks. Work on Rampage. Start with that. How are the Jacksonville Jaguars doing? Maybe go check on them once in a while. I don't know if they're good. I honestly have no idea because I don't watch.
They've gotten better, actually.
Oh, okay. So maybe good. Maybe they're spending more time on that. But a Ring of Honor TV deal, I think, is completely unnecessary. Ring of Honor existing is completely unnecessary. If there are people in Ring of Honor that you want to have as talent, sign them to AEW. What the fuck are you doing? Why do you have two wrestling companies going simultaneously and one that doesn't really exist? Do they tour? No. Do they have TV? No. What do? They have championships that are defended in AEW sometimes, and they have pay-per-views once in a while for some reason. With some indie talent that they have from the old Ring of Honor days and some AEW guys. It's useless. And why do they have it? Well, because there's not enough room for, the main talent in AEW to be in AEW, so it's a way to expose other talent. No, it's not. It's not. Because how are you exposing them? They're on AEW TV. It's not like another place to go for AEW spillover talent. It's not like, we're not using Miro, but we're going to use him in Ring of Honor. There is no Ring of Honor. Am I wrong? Stop me when I'm telling lies, John. Right? As a former Ring of Honor champion would say.
Well, I agree with you in some ways. In some ways, it shouldn't be a part of AEW television. And I think they've made strides to make sure that's not going to happen. I feel now with the whole Honor Club streaming platform, that's where you're going to see the majority of Ring of Honor talent. And that's fine. If you can keep it separate, you can have another brand. I think it's good to have more opportunities for wrestlers to wrestle. So as a wrestler, I think this is fantastic. They can have another brand. So I got no problem with that whatsoever. Just keep it separate, because that's the thing. It kind of takes away from the AEW stuff when you have the Ring of Honor stuff mingling together. It just feels like you're doing two things at the same time, and you lose focus of what you're trying to do.
There's a lack of focus. Would Vince McMahon do this?
Well, he did. Remember the invasion angle? Didn't really work out too well, but he did it.
But he never kept WCW alive as a separate entity.
Well, he had ECW for a little bit too. I mean, he tried these things. They just don't work out too well. That's why you got to keep things apart. And hopefully with the whole Honor Club streaming platform, that's going to work out. Wait and see. I mean, they'll have their shows.
But when Vince bought WCW, right? And this is not buying WCW, right? But when he did, he didn't say, we're going to try and get a TV deal for WCW and do WCW as a separate brand and everything. And maybe there were talks of that.
Plan? Yeah, there were talks. Yeah.
I think there were talks of that, but it never actually materialized, and it didn't need to. You didn't need to keep WCW going.
It's because of the Bagwell Booker T match wasn't well received.
I mean,
But they were going to make SmackDown WCW Nitro.
at that point, nobody was watching WCW. There was no reason to keep it going. It was over.
If they would have got the top guys in WCW when they did the invasion angle, I think things would have turned out differently. They just, unfortunately, didn't pull that off, so it wasn't as hot as it should have been.
I think if Ring of Honor wants to exist on Honor Club and whatever, and they want to keep it going there, I'm all for it. I'm all for, wrestlers having a job and a place to work and all that. That's, good.
It's great. Yeah.
But I don't want to see it on AEW anymore. If I'm watching AEW, I don't want to watch this offshoot stuff that they're doing. I don't need that. If I want to tune in to Ring of Honor and see what they're doing there, okay. If they're going to give me something that's worthwhile, I might check it out. But I've had it with Ring of Honor and Ring of Honor belts being defended in AEW. And even this Honor Club stuff, I mean, are they taping shows? Have they taped shows? Has anything been done?
Apparently, we're going to find out in the new year. More details will come out.
I'm skeptical. I don't see any reason to keep another wrestling company going if you're Tony Khan. You've got one to deal with. Why not deal with AEW? I don't like it.
Well, he has a fondness for Ring of Honor. I can understand that. A lot of people do. So there's a lot of history there. Like, if you look back on it, Ring of Honor was almost like the feeder system for WWE for many years. If you look at a lot of the stars they have now, all the stars they had in the past, I mean, from Ring of Honor, they got Punk, they got Danielson, they got Steen, they got Generico, Joe, well, technically Joe was TNA, but still, like, they all started there in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. But that was, 2005?
Yeah, 4, 5, 6.
It's a long time ago.
Long time ago. Great history, but yeah.
Yeah.
What can you do with the future? But that's it. I mean, to give more talent coming up an opportunity to continue that strong legacy, I think it's fine.
I suppose. I just don't see a need for it. I don't see a need for it. There's so many different wrestling shows out there. I don't need to watch it. As a wrestling viewer, I don't need to watch it. Right? I'm not interested. They're not doing anything that makes me want to tune in.
Right. I mean, they're going to have to make things. Like, for me, it was the dog collar match. I mean, that sold me for that pay-per-view, just that match alone. So if they can keep coming up with good ideas, it can work out, but they got to keep coming up with good ideas.
Yeah. I don't know. We saw Eddie Kingston in the ring just before on Rampage, and he got interrupted by the House of Black. What is that?
Yeah, because something going on with them and Ortiz. Remember that angle that happened where Ortiz, like, they said not to attack him or whatever? Like, apparently that's an angle, and they're going with that. So
I have no recollection of this. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Remember they were beating people down, and like you said not to beat down Ortiz. Like, you thought, like, you're like, oh, that's a botch, but like, I don't think it's a botch, or maybe they're making an angle out of it now because they're making an angle out of it.
The House of Black were beating people up?
Yeah, and Ortiz was one of them.
Okay, but they didn't beat up. They decided not to hit a finisher on Ortiz. They hit it on somebody else, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay. So there's something going on with House of Black and Ortiz?
That's what I could gather. I couldn't catch all the promo, but yeah, that's what I gather, yeah.
Okay. And now Jade Cargill is wrestling some blue-haired woman.
Believe it's Vixen something? Vert Vixen, I think.
Vert Vixen?
I believe that's her name, yeah.
I hope that's not her name. Vert?
But I think it's one word,
Vert Vixen is one word?
I believe that's what I saw on the graphic, yeah.
And that's her wrestling name.
Right.
Vert Vixen.
It sounds better when you say it fast like that.
The faster you say it, the faster you get it over with, I suppose. Jade now working during the commercial break. They're doing a commercial break with this match.
And she's still just doing a beatdown. Usually it's the face that gets some more of the offense. Like,
no.
Nope.
Oh, God, that bump in the corner was terrible. Ugh.
Well, she's just beating her down until the time's over, pretty much, I think.
Some of this stuff is downright terrible. Just bad.
Now they just went to commercial, period.
What did you think of Dynamite this week?
We had some interesting moments. I feel like there was a really good match. What was it? The main event was pretty good.
Yeah. Jamie Hayter
Ross,
getting the win over Hikaru Shida. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Rick Ross stole the show.
What? Well, yeah,
yeah.
But not in a good way, though, right? Like, was he confused? What the hell was that?
I think he just went out there and just did whatever he wanted, and you know what? I think it worked. Like, to me, I was like, man, I watched that several times over. I mean, it was funny, it was confusing, and it was like, I'm trying to make sense of this, but I'm into this. I even watched like their like exclusive like after the show promo, and that was gold too. Like, Rick Ross is like the best thing right now for AEW. Like, to me, he could be one of the best managers they have.
I don't think he knows what's going on. I don't think he's clear on the concept of professional wrestling. I mean, what?
But he's different though. It works because like there's nobody like him.
Oh, Rick Ross. He's a ridiculous character. I just can't believe that he was involved in this. So, I mean, the segment starts out with Tony Schiavone and Rick Ross in the ring for what's being called a mediation between Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. So right off the bat, we're starting off with like a what? We're doing what now on this show?
Yeah.
It's just the sight of Schiavone in the ring with Rick Ross. The boss, Rick Ross, Ricky Rose. And Rick Ross just looking like, yeah, I'm Rick Ross. Very confident. Very happy to be there. Loving it. Very excited.
Oh,
he's
having tons of fun, it looked like.
Yeah, but so Keith Lee comes out, and then Rick Ross is like, oh, I want Swerve to come out. Get Swerve out here. Swerve is a legend. Right?
Yeah, the legend, yeah. Bring out the legend.
The legend. He's a legend. And then Swerve comes out eventually. It takes him a while. And then Swerve says, well, he and Keith Lee
whoa. You skipped the best part of the whole thing.
What?
Before Swerve comes out, he Ross looks at Lee and says, well, I don't know if maybe it was censored for you, but it wasn't censored when I saw it. He said, you're one big mother effer.
I don't know. There was a lot going on. Rick Ross was talking a lot. I didn't catch everything he was saying. There was a lot.
Oh, I caught it uncensored.
Well, you seem to have watched it several times. You watched it like 3 times, John.
Oh.
It was bad?
Well, because he said mother effer on,
and Keith Lee told him not to
TBS.
do that.
Well, you shouldn't just do that, period. No one should, drop mother effer on television, So Keith Lee was like, like that can be rough. Though it should be the censor's fault. I don't know whoever's like supposed to push that 7-second delay, but clearly they're not doing their job ever, it seems, because how do you miss that one?
Yeah, it seems to happen a lot on Dynamite.
That got a great reaction when he said it.
I just like when Swerve comes out and he's like, me and you, Keith Lee, we could own everything. And then Rick Ross just goes, ownership.
It goes back to that.
That's what we're talking about.
Promo.
Ownership. And then
it goes back to that past thing. Remember what he said? accusations.
Yeah,
False
exactly. Accusations. He's like, Swerve's like, Lee, I don't like all these accusations. And then Rick Ross is like, I don't like these accusations. False accusations. Just getting in Lee's face in a very strange way. And because at first, like, Rick Ross seems to like Keith Lee, right? Like, when Keith Lee comes out, Rick Ross is, like, enamored with him. He's like, look how big you are. He's so impressed. And then Swerve comes out, and Rick Ross seems to be kind of in between them. But then as soon as Swerve starts talking, Rick Ross is fully on Swerve's side for some reason. I don't know what happened there. I don't know.
The Swerve, I guess.
I guess it was the Swerve. Oh, God. So then Swerve tells Keith Lee he's got to keep eyes on the back of his head. So, of course, he's going to be attacked from behind. Keith Lee didn't clue in on that at all for some reason.
It took a while, too, for that run to happen as well.
Yeah, the guy took forever. When a wrestler says, you need to keep eyes in the back of your head, and then stops talking, maybe turn around, idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
Well, I think he was expecting to get hit when that happened, but he didn't get hit, and he just stood there for a little bit. So, yeah,
still,
it looked
just
bad.
like look around for a little bit. I don't know. It was not good. And then this guy attacks Keith Lee from behind eventually.
Parker Boudreaux.
Yeah, who the hell is this? They said his name like I'm supposed to know him. Parker Boudreaux. I've heard the name before, but I have no idea where he's from.
Well, he was in NXT before.
He was?
They kept saying like he was Baby Brock, remember?
No.
Well, that's what they called him in NXT.
Yeah, well, it didn't pan out, did it? Now he's Parker Boudreaux. Is that his real name?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, my God. That's no Brock Lesnar. That's like the weak version. That's like the B version.
Punches,
come on.
He's got to work on that. Punches.
Yeah, he wishes he was Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar? Who would you put on a marquee? What name would you pick for a creative wrestler? Brock Lesnar or Parker Boudreaux? I mean, get out of here with that Parker Boudreaux. Weak-ass name. He looks big, though. Big and scary. And then some other guy attacked Keith Lee because Parker Boudreaux didn't work. Keith Lee beat him up. And then this guy with tattoos on his face and everything attacked Keith Lee. I have no idea who this guy is. Apparently, Boudreaux and this other tattooed face man are are Swerve's goons. And Swerve then broke a cinder block with a double stomp from the top rope on Keith Lee. They put a cinder block on Keith Lee, and Swerve with a double stomp shattered it into dust. Where do they get these gimmick cinder blocks, I wonder? Because that would not happen with a real cinder block. That was ridiculous. Like, have you ever picked up a cinder block, John?
Yes, I have, yeah.
Do you think that if you stomped on it, it would shatter into a million pieces like that? Into dust?
Of course not. But this has happened before in wrestling. Remember Steve Austin with the Scott Hall in his knee, smashed it to pieces, the cinder block?
Yeah, well, it was not good then, and it's still not good. Hey, Excalibur's got a menorah at the desk. Shout out to Excalibur, or whoever's got that going.
It was actually there on Dynamite, too, though.
Nice.
Yeah.
AEW. Well, I mean, the world champion is Jewish. Happy Hanukkah. Night 6 tonight. Night 7 will be Christmas Eve, and then night 8, the final night of Hanukkah on Christmas. So big celebrations for everybody.
No sweater tonight, though.
I got it over here. I wore it last night. I didn't want to repeat, but I'm repping for the team, John. Still,
No, it's all good.
Come on. Christmas colors, too, with the red and the Lucha Libre,
No, it's good. It's better that people don't think you wear the same sweater every day for 7 days, so it's okay.
Well, that's it. If I wore it every day for it's 8 days, actually, John. Thanks for counting.
Yeah, but you wore it last Friday though.
Oh yeah, I just wear it for the show though. I'm not really. Well, I mean, actually, I have been wearing it anyhow. So it's not important.
Doesn't matter.
It's not. It doesn't. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I thought this Rick Ross segment was a total mess, total disaster.
I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't, but I was entertained though by it.
Yeah, because
And
you watch wrestling for the botches, John. You don't watch wrestling for anything good. When I talk about the good stuff in wrestling, you're like, yeah, it was all right. It was good. No matter how good a match was, you're like, yeah. A botch, you're like, oh, that was amazing. You like botches. You like when the wrestlers screw up way more than good stuff. You do.
I wouldn't really call this a botch, really. It was just unusual what happened and unexpected. So I just found it enjoyable because I wasn't expecting.
I mean, you
Rick
could
Ross
put moments of that on Botchamania as clips, right? I mean, those are some good Rick Ross clips.
Well, the botch is the whole, the mother effer thing not being censored.
Yeah, just the concept of it, I think, was a botch. I don't know. Is Rick Ross going to be a manager now in AEW? Is that a thing? Can he do that? I mean, that's not going to happen, right?
If you saw the promo afterwards that they filmed after Dynamite, it really felt like it, that he's here to stay kind of thing. And it doesn't matter what Big Fat Chunky thinks. Apparently that's Keith Lee's name for
That's what Rick Ross called him?
That's what you could call him, Big Chunky, and then Big Fat Chunky.
Has Rick Ross seen himself?
Yeah, but as you saw when Keith Lee was next to him, Keith Lee is pretty huge, like bigger than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, of course. Keith Lee's a professional wrestler. Rick Ross is a professional rapper. Difference, right? Big difference. We're watching the Acclaim come out. Scissor me, Daddy ass. What's happening?
Jeff Jarrett was in the ring because it's only
wrestling.
Billy and Bowens, I think. It's not caster wrestling, so it's not a tag team title match.
It's Billy and Bowens?
I believe so, yeah.
Against Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal?
I believe so, yeah.
What a weird match. This is the main event, I'm guessing, right? Yeah.
Unless there's going to be a quick match here.
No. This is for sure the main event. Next AEW pay-per-view is March 5th. Next WWE pay-per-view is the Royal Rumble, January 28th. We've got like over a month before the next pro wrestling pay-per-view.
It's fantastic. I love it. I know Raw. Man, this is great.
Yeah. So what's the deal with Raw Monday night? There's no Raw? It's a clip show. It's like best of the year, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
So they're airing a show, but it's just like, hey, this is what happened here, and this is what happened there. And if you watched all of it like we did, you don't really need to watch Raw, which is nice. And then SmackDown looks fantastic. They've announced...
I think, okay. I mean, Ronda against Raquel, okay. I mean, I'm not dying to see that match, but...
Well, it's pretty good. It's Ronda wrestling on TV. But the main event, that's a pay-per-view main event right there. John Cena and Kevin Owens against Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. My goodness. That is massive. For a SmackDown? It's huge.
I guess for a SmackDown, because we haven't seen a lot of big matches in a sense on SmackDown recently, but I mean, it's okay. Like, I mean, if you think about it, like, back when SmackDown first started, this was just a regular SmackDown show, that kind of match, you know? You would see Austin and The Rock in the main event almost every week, you know?
Yeah, but when's the last time you saw John Cena?
Well, wasn't anything special last time, so.
Well, still, I mean, you could think whatever you want about him, but you can't deny who he is and what he means to pro wrestling and the star power and everything else, right? He's a big name, and he's having a return match on TV, not a promo, a match on TV in an important feud, in an important match with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn and everything going on there. And now Cena's involved in all of that. That's a huge main event, especially with Cena kind of being dropped into all of the drama. Like, how is he going to fit into it? How is it all going to play out? And you know these Roman Reigns matches, a lot of them, they kind of wind up being kind of angles within a match. Like, it kind of breaks down and it becomes less of a match and more of a story. So how is that going to be told with John Cena involved as one of the players? Because you know there's going to be a story told there with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Something has got to give. Will Sami pull the trigger on Kevin Owens? Will he do all that stuff? Which, that's the story going into it. But didn't he, like, already take out Kevin Owens at the War Games? Didn't he already decide to, like, go with the bloodline? And now they're kind of doing this match again to be like, is Sami really on our side? Didn't he prove that he was at War Games? He, like, attacked Kevin Owens, kicked him in the balls, and hit him with his kick and everything, right? And set him up for Jey Uso.
Yeah, I know. But it's never enough, apparently, you know.
Yeah, right?
Now you got to do it again. You always have to prove yourself, looks like. So, but we're also building towards, like, to me, this is what was a telling sign of Raw. Like, they're building up Kevin to face Roman right now. So this is all the building blocks towards that match at the Rumble, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you saw Kevin get a big win on the main event, and I expect he's going to get a big win on SmackDown and cause problems for Sami, and then that'll earn him a title shot, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns at the Rumble for the belts. Owens and Rollins beat the Usos in the main event of Raw this week. Rollins got taken out by Austin Theory. Theory hit him with the U.S. title. The ref didn't see it. So Owens was by himself and still manages to hit a stunner and get the win for his team. He looked very strong, right?
Yep.
When he won that match on Raw, like, after Seth got taken out, I was like, oh, maybe Kevin's going to lose here, right? Because Seth just gets taken out. He's by himself. But he won. After he won, I thought, oh, okay, they're setting him up for something, right? It was clear after that win. It was a big win. Big win.
Well, the Usos don't usually lose that much anymore. So when they do lose, it's because, they're building up the next guy who's going to face Roman. So that's what's pretty much happening here. And Kevin lost the Survivor Series, which was kind of ridiculous. So now they have to build him back up. And he's got to get some big wins. That was the start of it. I think next Friday it continues. So, it's going to be good for Kevin to finally get back up there. I don't think he's going to beat Roman, but to go from one year to another to get a title shot again, that's pretty good for him. It shows that he can still stay in the mix in a sense, even after being out of the mix for so long.
I don't remember Survivor Series. Who did he lose to?
Well, he lost to
War Games. In War Games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, Survivor Series. Was there a Survivor Series match? I forget. It was War Games. I'm just remembering it as War Games. Like, it didn't feel like it was Survivor Series because we didn't have any of those,
I know.
That's good. Yeah. Usos were real busy on Raw, beating people up, attacking people left and right.
The show started good. Raw started good, but once we had that intergender match, it really went downhill so quickly, and it was a struggle to stay awake for most of the show.
It wasn't a great show overall. Raw or SmackDown this week were not great.
Super chat.
Right?
SmackDown was taped. I mean, it's what we expected.
Yeah, but it was particularly bad. It was particularly bad.
Look, everyone, it's Santa!
Oh.
Yeah, it's good to have Santa back. But Raw started off great. You had Heyman, you had Roman start the show off. I think you had a really good match actually with Damian Priest and Finn Balor against the Street Profits. I thought that was a pretty good opening match. And then you had Tozawa against Rhea Ripley, and it just went downhill.
I mean, I thought it was an interesting concept, having Rhea Ripley beat up Tozawa in a match.
It was terrible. Like,
You didn't
whatever
like it?
about the concept. It was long.
Yeah.
Like, it was boring. Like,
Yeah.
nothing happened. It's one-sided. Like, why? Or why did we have to sit through that?
They're putting Rhea over strong.
But for what? Like, what? She's going to face, like,
Bianca.
Brock at WrestleMania or something? Or yeah, but fine, Bianca. Fine, but, like, Tozawa? Like, what? Like, it doesn't really fit.
I mean, it just adds, like, she's so strong, she beats men.
I don't feel like it added that much really to her. I mean, okay, she can beat up Tozawa. It doesn't really help too much. We didn't have to sit through that for more than 5 minutes, which I felt like we did. And, like, nothing happened in that match. Like, it's completely one-sided because Tozawa can't hit her right. So, it wasn't anything enjoyable. And then, I believe it was the Good Brothers against Alpha Academy, I think was next match.
Yeah.
Nothing great there.
No. Shout out Doug Hepburn out in Kingston, Ontario. He says, Merry Christmas to the ringside crew. By the way, Johnny would make serious money on fans only. Oh, Johnny and Mandy Rose making big money on that fans only. Thank you, Doug,
Mandy
for the
looks
super chat.
incredible. I don't look incredible. Thank you, Doug, but I'm not Mandy level, sadly.
Yeah, Johnny likes Mandy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you for the Facebook stars. Appreciate you, Angelo. Shout out Doug. Shout out Angelo. Shout out Ryan Katz, Matthew Henley on the chat. Yes, we do have Elimination Chamber tickets. Johnny and I both. Go into the chamber in February. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to going to the Elimination Chamber in our hometown. Smackdown, too, the night before. I don't think I'm going to do the Undertaker show, though, on the Thursday. It's too much. 3 nights in a row.
Okay.
I got kids, man. It's enough. Like, I can't be out 3 nights in a row. I could be out 2 nights in a row, but I don't think I'm going to do the Undertaker show. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't need to see Undertaker talk. I think I'm going to skip it.
Right. Well,
Probably
the way I look
skip
at it, you remember the Hall of Fame speech. I mean, a lot of it's going to be like that. Him being a motivational speaker kind of thing,
Yeah.
Which is nice. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm not really interested in sitting through that. And I have to sit through like 4 hours of wrestling 2 nights in a row. Yeah, no thanks.
I mean, you don't have to go, John.
Exactly. So I won't go.
No, I mean, like, you're like, oh, I have to sit through 4 hours of wrestling 2 nights in a row. You don't have to go to SmackDown or the Elimination Chamber.
Well, yes and no. Like, people want me to go, actually, so it's kind of different.
Oh.
And it's also fun. We can talk about the experiences as well.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do some shows in the kind of daytime or something after. We'll talk. Yeah, Raw, Good Brothers beating Alpha Academy, and then the Bloodline attacked them for a while, and there was security showing up and all that stuff. And then Alexa Bliss and Bianca Belair had a sit-down interview backstage. That was awful. Alexa talking about how... Oh, what?
I didn't think it was that bad.
Oh, no, I have it again because of the thing. The thing,
Why don't you unplug it?
I don't
Just
know how.
unplug it.
I can't unplug it. I need it for a thing. What the hell? And now it screwed up my TV at the same time. Oh, my God.
Well, the one known as Bliss, I guess you could just say that.
Yeah, Bliss.
Like, that promo was necessary because that was her official heel turn. Like, regardless of all the whole, like, oh, Bray Wyatt did this to me kind of thing.
Yeah. But come on, man. No. Alexa Bliss trying to act and saying, oh, Bray, he left me alone, and I had abandonment issues, and that led to me having therapy, and then now I became a shell of a human being, and then Alexa Bliss decided to team with Asuka, and it made her remember what she had lost, and she made new pact with herself to, get back everything that she once had and be champion again. It was so lame. It was just awful.
I'm not saying it was great, but we needed that, actually, if you're going to turn her heel. Like, she needed to explain that. I'm not saying it's a great story, but you needed to go in that direction.
Terrible story. To even bring up the therapy angle that they did back then is insulting because I hated it so much. I don't want to be reminded of all this terrible stuff they've done with Bliss, and now they continue to do it with her. And then she hit Bianca with a vase with flowers at the end of it because Bianca, well, for no reason, because she's like conflicted in her mind. She's having a mental breakdown. She says it's not about Bray Wyatt. This is about her. She's a real threat to Bianca. I don't understand. Is it like a Bray Wyatt mental thing happening, or is it not?
Well, I think it just goes to show you that she's having like issues from it, like maybe some PTSD kind of thing from it. And I guess, she's having difficulty surviving it or coping with it, so she's acting out in this manner. So don't try to explain it too much because like it's a ridiculous storyline anyways, but she's just having issues, and now she's just going to act out, and doesn't matter if you're friend or foe now at this point.
Well, thankfully we don't have to deal with it much longer because she'll wrestle Bianca Belair on the January 2nd episode of Raw, which will be the next episode of Raw because Monday night is a clip show, right? It's all reruns, all replay stuff on Monday night. So the following Monday, it'll be Bianca versus Alexa, and damn it, and then Bianca will win.
Why did you say it?
Yeah, I know. And then Bianca will win, and it'll be over with Bliss. She'll be done.
Well, you hope so, but wait and see. Because, like, what other match would they have for the Rumble? Like, I could see them easily do Bianca and Bliss again. Because unless they're going to shoot Rhea Ripley in there really quick, they don't really have anything else.
I guess you could do it for the Rumble. I mean, do you have to have a Bianca Belair match at the Rumble? Couldn't you just have a Ronda Rousey match and the Women's Rumble?
I mean, you could, but it'd be kind of surprising, though. I feel like Bianca is one of their strongest champions. I mean, how long has Bianca been champion? Since WrestleMania?
I guess she could wrestle Bliss again at the Rumble, but, I mean, to stretch it to the Rumble? I don't know. Some sort of non-finish, I guess.
Easily.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Raw was not great. Miz and Dexter Lumis had a ladder match. Bronson Reed showed up to help Miz win and attack Lumis. So Bronson Reed is now back in WWE. He's all right.
Yeah, he's okay. I had no problem with him showing up. I just felt the ladder match was... I'd have to look back on it, but that was one of the worst ladder matches I've probably ever seen. Like, I've never seen a ladder match just be so boring.
Yeah.
Like, they had moments, but then there's just like, well, we're just not going to do anything for a while. There was a lot of that this week where it's a lot of just like, and it happened, like, you may have liked Bayley and Becky, but I felt a lot of it happened in this match where it's just a lot of just slow everything down, let the replay play, and then slowly get back into the action. Like, they let that replay eat way too much time, and it kills the action way too much. Where that match, it should have been a lot more action, like fast pace. That's what people wanted to see, and it killed the crowd, that match, because they just kind of let everything sit because of the replays.
It wasn't good. It was not good. Then you had Sami Zayn. Huh?
You're admitting Bayley and Becky wasn't good. Wow, okay.
No, I'm talking about Miz and Lumis.
Oh, okay. Well, that too. But that, same problems in both matches.
Yeah, I don't think Bayley and Becky was great either. Ref gets distracted. Bayley hits Becky in the back. With the win. Right? There was some cheating there. Wait, what happened?
Well, because
Dakota
they
Kai,
pulled
right? Dakota
out
Kai.
Bayley, right?
Yeah. So Dakota Kai and Io Sky grabbed a monitor from the announce table, and then Becky went to get it, and then the ref decided to eject Sky and Kai, and then Kai got on the apron, and Becky punched her, but then Dakota Kai dropped to the apron and kind of rolled into the ring, and then the ref was like yelling at Dakota Kai to get out of the ring, and then Bayley got this monitor from the announce table, hit Becky with it, and then pinned her. The match was not great. It was not great. And
I felt it started good.
I didn't think any match was really great on Raw this week. I mean, even Sami Zayn and AJ Styles, where I expected more. Like, I expected more out of a lot of these matches, and I was just kind of left disappointed. Sami and AJ, it was, fine. Bayley and Becky was fine, but nothing was special. Even Owens and Rollins against the Usos, like, it just kind of happened. I guess, was it a recorded Raw? No, it was live.
No, it was live.
What the hell?
That's the problem, too, with Raw. It kind of drags, and I feel like it takes away from some of the matches where you're just kind of like, it's hard to get excited for them because you've just gone through so much blah throughout the whole show. So, like, when you start to get into matches, you're like, okay, this is starting to get good, and then just starts a bit of a dull moments, and you're just like, oh, can this end soon, please? But I actually thought AJ and Sami was pretty good. Like, obviously not their best, but it was a TV match, so like I just think on a very weak Raw, it was the best part of Raw was probably that match.
I would agree with that. I thought it was all right. Like, I didn't think it was a bad match, right? But I was just like, yeah, okay. I was hoping for it to save the show somehow, Like, I guess.
That's asking too much. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. It was too much. It was too much. Because the show was just not good. It was not good. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins had a nice little promo backstage about their history. That was all right. Not as good as the one that Elias and Kevin Owens did like last week or the week before. Like, they're trying to do that again, and it just didn't work out as well. Wasn't as funny.
It wasn't as funny. It came off as just kind of more goofball than usual. So I wasn't really big on that. It's like, okay, you're just finding some stupid reason to be together, but you shouldn't be because you're not supposed to like each other. But whatever, like. Common enemies, I guess. That's it.
Yep. Seth's hometown. They wanted to do a match with a babyface,
Yeah. Fine. I felt he was more back to his regular character. They made mention of the laugh, but he seemed to be normal Seth again for the most part.
Yeah, he did a promo with Austin Theory in the ring. Theory had a couple good lines. Telling Seth
he stole the Funk line.
Yeah, he kind of did, right? He said that he's the third most successful member of the Shield, which is what Punk said about Jon Moxley. And now Austin Theory saying it about Seth, which at this point, yeah, maybe. Right? Well, Punk said you're the third. Like, you're
always the third best in your groups.
Third best in your group, right? Which you could make an argument for talent-wise. But as far as success in pro wrestling, I mean, Moxley's kind of one of the top dogs in AEW. Roman is a top dog in WWE, and Seth is, there. He's feuding with Austin Theory for the U.S. title on Raw. I mean, who's got a bigger spot?
That will be the match, January 2nd.
Yeah. Theory's like, man, your career sucks. You're wrestling me, Moxley's doing big things at AEW. Roman's at the top of the card. You're wrestling me. That's not what he said exactly, but he also said, Seth, how many times have you been given the ball and fumbled it? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Few, right?
It's true.
Yep.
Theory
So,
also had a huge
not bad.
line. There's another big line that Theory said.
I don't know. What are you talking about?
Theory also said, the champ is here.
Did he say that?
He did say that.
Oh. I could see them setting that up for Mania. Theory and Cena.
Yep.
Cena winning, for sure.
No.
Or maybe
Theory's gotta win
Theory
that match.
cheating to win.
Whatever. Theory's got to win that match.
Not clean, though. There's no way. It would be
That's
shocking.
fine. It's not clean, but
It could happen, I guess. I don't know. Why not? What the hell? Like, Theory looked better in that promo than Seth did. It wasn't a great promo from either guy, but Theory seemed to have a better go of it.
you see he's getting better every week, I find. If he makes his matches a little bit more exciting, like, he's going to be one of the top guys.
Yeah. He's got potential.
Yep.
But I'm not, like, it's just potential right now. You know, like, it's all right. But I'm not excited to see him. I don't really care when he shows up on TV. It's like, oh, yeah, there's Austin Theory. What's he going to do now? And it's not usually that exciting. So, we'll see. But you can tell there's something there.
They're going to give him chances. I mean,
yeah,
if he's going to wrestle Cena at Mania, they're definitely giving him a huge chance.
Yeah. Smackdown tonight was terrible. The main event was awful. Just nonsense. Just nonsense. Braun Strowman and Ricochet beat the Imperium goons. Kaiser and Da Vinci. What's his name?
You got it right. Yeah, Da Vinci, yeah.
Da Vinci? Leonardo Da Vinci.
I don't believe it's Leonardo, but
All right.
It is Da Vinci.
At one point during the match, there's a bunch of boxes. It's a Miracle on 34th Street fight.
We've been down this road.
Yes. So there's a bunch of boxes and Christmas trees on the stage. They open up a box, Kaiser and Sose, and a ballerina comes out and starts dancing. So there's a human in this box, you would think the whole show, I guess. And then they open up another box. What?
It was a guy, right?
Was there a guy?
The ballerina was a guy, no? I thought it was a guy.
No, it was a woman. What are you talking about?
Oh, was it a woman? Okay.
What, are you watching on your phone? You can't see?
No, I watched it on my computer, actually. But I wasn't really looking well, I guess.
I guess. And then the New Day came out of another box, and they were dressed as nutcrackers, and then they kicked the Imperium guys in the balls. Nutcrackers, get it?
Well, they walked around like nutcrackers too, I guess. Whatever that is, like.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was really stupid.
It was bad.
And then Ricochet was like unconscious at one point, and Braun Strowman got mistletoe, and he put it above Ricochet, and he got the ring announcer to kiss Ricochet, and then Ricochet was revived and started beating up Imperium. And they also acknowledged for the first time that the ring announcer, Samantha Irvin, is Ricochet's real-life girlfriend. So they acknowledged that, and they had that play out on TV. So that happened, nice. I guess, sure. And then Braun Strowman, but I mean, ridiculous, right? Like,
of course, ridiculous.
And then she kisses him, and he's like, "Ah!" You know, and starts winning the match. Like, come on. And then Kaiser got powerbombed through a table, and Ricochet did a dive off of Braun for the win. Ricochet and Braun beat the Imperium goons. Gunther wasn't even there to help them, even though it was a street fight. He's like, nah, fuck it. What a stupid match. And Luigi, or whatever his name was, Luigi Da Vinci, was busted open from a punch or something from Braun Strowman. I'm not sure.
Yeah, a little bit of shoot punch, yeah.
Was it a punch that busted him open? Like, my God, Braun, what are you doing? Pull your punches a little bit. Like, what?
He needs Brock to be in there again to give him a good shot, I guess.
Braun landed a solid punch. Also, Rhea Ripley's punch on Tozawa on Raw. Do you see that punch? Like, not in the match, but before when she challenged him to the match. She hit him pretty good.
Oh, before, yeah. Yeah, before, yeah. I think a
Yeah.
little too good, actually.
Yeah, it was like right
But
on, right?
that
Like she
was
punched him right in the face.
that was another problem with it. It's like she's coming out like a face, like she's challenging him and like, pushing him down, like come face me in the ring. Everyone's popping like crazy and like he's got
Yeah.
to take it or he's a coward. Like, what the heck are we doing here? Like, who's the face, who's the heel?
Well, that's also true. I mean, Rhea Ripley is supposed to be the heel, but she is a woman fighting a man. I mean, in any situation, you're supposed to cheer for the woman. She's the underdog in this fight. In
Well, and she
theory.
went right up to him too and like punched him and like
Yeah.
he's down on the floor.
People
And
loved
it's
it.
like, oh, you better do it. Like, and then the street profits say like, oh, what kind of man are you? Like, you have to stand up. Like, what the heck? Like, I was surprised by that. That kind of blew me away that they were going down that road, to be honest.
Not good. The Bloodline cut a promo to open up SmackDown tonight. Sammy talked, Roman talked, Heyman talked a bit, all hyping up stuff. The match next week, really. That's what this promo is all about, to talk about the match next week against Cena and Owens.
They taped it, so I mean, they did the promo before, so I mean, you can't expect it to be amazing because they probably just came out, did the promo, and they did the promo again, like back to back. So
yeah,
I think they did all right because they kind of changed it up a little bit with Sammy being more serious. But again, not much really happened because they didn't really have much on a tape show. Also, like apparently, like how things were kind of off last week, where I said like they kind of blew it with the whole like, oh, is Sammy going to be in or out of the Bloodline? Apparently, Kevin was supposed to be at SmackDown but couldn't make it because like weather issues, I guess. So that's why I think the story got tweaked a bit because I think Kevin was probably going to go up and challenge them, but they had to change it because of what happened, right?
Mm-hmm. Usos wrestled again. They beat Hit Row to retain the tag team titles. This was a title match because Hit Row won a match last week. This was not great. Hit Row is not a good team.
What were you expecting? What was anyone expecting from this match?
I don't know. But it was bad. And then we had the gauntlet match. The women's gauntlet match. Xia Li and Emma starting us off. And then it kept going. Xia Li beat Emma. And then Raquel Rodriguez showed up. She beat Xia Li. And then she had a match with Liv Morgan. Huh?
Like, Xia Li also beat Tegan Nox as well.
Oh, yeah. Was Tegan Nox in there, too?
Yeah, Xia Li got the win on that one, too.
I walked out of the room. I think I missed Tegan Nox.
It's weird. Like, they bring back Emma and Tegan Nox, and, like, they lose right away. Like, what the hell?
They're jabronis. It doesn't matter. They're jabronis. Even Liv Morgan, like the push that she was getting, Raquel Rodriguez beats Xia Li and then also beats Liv Morgan and Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler. Right? She beat Raquel Rodriguez to win this gauntlet match, beat Xia Li, Liv Morgan, Sonya Deville, and Shayna.
Yeah. Here's the area of grievances here. So there's a lot of grievances in this match. So, like, I guess first off, the whole Emma stuff, like, bring her back, like, doesn't make sense. Nox, too, is like, doesn't make sense. Just to lose right away, it's kind of ridiculous.
Just filling out the roster.
And then, like, yeah, I suppose, but I don't know about you, like, to me, it felt like Raquel's finish, like, the bump sucked every time she hit it. Like, she hit it on Liv, and it felt like, barely made a sound. Hit it on, I think, Sonya, and it felt like awkward because she had Sonya in an awkward angle, so, like, half her side hit. Terrible bump again. It's like, oh, that's the finish. Like, that looked bad. Like, I don't know what it is about her finish, but she's got to change it up because, like, I think 3 times it didn't look good. Actually, the Xia Li one was okay, but Xia is small, so it's fine, but
yeah, I thought the Xia Li one was good. The power bomb there on Xia Li was nice, but yeah.
Yeah, because she's smaller.
Yeah.
But the Liv one was terrible.
I don't know. Maybe Liv didn't want to take it. I mean,
Well,
Liv was
I
on top
think-
of the world a few months ago. You know, what happened? What happened to Liv Morgan?
Well, they're just pushing Raquel right now. That's it, and that's why they made that the most competitive, right? So
Yeah.
whoever was winning that one was going to win it. So it's just her turn at this point. That's it.
Raquel will get a title shot at Ronda Rousey on next week's SmackDown, right? It'll be Ronda versus Raquel, and then the John Cena, Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn match.
But Shayna too, like that should not happen. Like I get, like, you make mistakes here and there, but like, come on. Like, the girl's got a broken arm, and like she overcame all that, and you lost in like 10 seconds to her. Like,
Yeah.
that just can't happen. That's really bad.
Yeah, Shayna was posing with Raquel's elbow brace and got rolled up for the win very quickly. Very quickly.
Like,
Not great.
I don't understand how, like, you make her into this badass when she comes out. She eliminated everybody in the Elimination Chamber. The only person I think to ever do that at the time for the women, like, eliminated everyone who's in it, all by herself, and went on to face Becky, and then that's when all went to crap. Lost to Becky, and then she hasn't been the same since. Did that thing with Nia, and then Natty, and now with Ronda. And it's like, she's just there. Like, she's just that extra bodyguard, but it's really just that one step to get to the champion thing. That's all she is now.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Well, at least it's something as opposed to nothing, which is what she's
Like-
doing most of the time.
Yeah, but she almost is nothing if she loses in 10 seconds, like in a gauntlet.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty bad. That was the lowest of lows I feel like they've done for her. Like, they did it wrong, I felt.
And Bray Wyatt did a promo in the ring.
I guess better and better this show.
Oh, God. Yeah, it was so bad, man. Everything was bad. Everything on Raw, everything on
Forget a tape
SmackDown
show.
was horrible. No, both shows. Raw was live, SmackDown was taped. They were both bad. Both very bad wrestling shows this week. Like, particularly bad and particularly boring. And what's happening is, I don't know if it's the Triple H booking or what, but we're seeing a lot of long, boring matches because they think that the secret to what the wrestling fans want is more wrestling. But we want
It's not
wrestling
wrong.
with a point. No, they are wrong. We don't want more we don't want you to just go and wrestle because there's no point to that. We want matches with a point. We want matches with a reason, and we want some finishes so we can advance the storyline. If you give me a 20-minute match, that's fine, and then give me no finish or a non-conclusive finish, and then give me that same match the week after and that same match the week after. Like, we saw Judgment Day wrestle the Street Profits last week on Raw and then again this week on Raw. But it was in a different configuration, right? Last week they had Dominic with them, and Judgment Day had Dominic, and Street Profits had Tozawa. This week it's Finn Balor and Damian Priest against just the Street Profits. And what was the point? What was the point of any of it? It just keeps going, and it slogs along, and nothing ever happens, and nothing ever changes. No one wants to watch TV with no story progression and no real point. If you think that just putting wrestling matches out there, letting your wrestlers wrestle, is going to get people to tune in or get people excited about your show, I mean, you completely miss the point. It's sports entertainment. The entertainment factor is not there right now. And when they try to do it, they fail miserably. The entertainment value for WWE is just... Yeah, they have some good wrestlers. They have some good athletes. They've got guys putting their bodies on the line and doing the hard work and all of that good stuff. Fine. And if you just want that, that's fine. But this isn't Ring of Honor. This is the WWE. So you got to have some sizzle with the steak. And right now they're just giving us some steak, and it's not even that good. It's not even like a filet. You know, it's like a, whatever, sandwich steak or some bullshit cut of meat.
Rare.
It's not good. It's not a nice filet mignon. It's not something good. It's not luxury beef. It's low quality. And it's just kind of filler. It's just kind of there to fill you up. It's not steak, you know. It's like, it's kind of shitty bread. It's like, yeah, just eat this. It's not good. You know? And there's no point to it. You don't go to a restaurant to eat bread. You go to a restaurant to eat meat. Damn it. You know? You're not just there to just mess around and kind of fill time. You got to get to the point. You got to give us a reason to want to watch next week and the week after and the week after that. You got to give us a reason to want to know, well, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen here? Do you care about the resolution of the storyline between Miz and Dexter Lumis? Do you care now that it's going to be Miz and Bronson Reed versus Dexter Lumis and Johnny Gargano? Like, you see, even that, we're seeing just a different configuration of the same match. Well, we've seen The Miz wrestle Johnny Gargano, and it's been awful. We've seen The Miz wrestle Dexter Lumis in a variety of matches, even a ladder match, and it's been awful. How about we add Bronson Reed to the mix when we make it a tag team match, playa? And that'll be awful, too. And that'll fill some time, because we could do Bronson Reed versus Dexter Lumis, and Bronson Reed versus Johnny Gargano. And Bronson Reed will win because Miz will interfere. That'll be great. Or Bronson Reed won't win because he'll have to help the Miz because Dexter Lumis will be chasing him around the ring. Won't that be great? That'll be entertaining. Miz's face all running away scared. Oh, that'll be so funny. I love that Miz when he runs away. So funny. Miz is such a great entertainer. Fucking terrible.
Raw's long. Yeah, I know.
But
Thankfully,
everything, man, nothing, like all the stories that they have currently running, you don't care about their resolution, right? You don't care about anything that's actually happening in WWE. Like the Seth Rollins, Austin Theory feud. Do you care who winds up U.S. champion in the end? Doesn't matter. Like when they stop wrestling each other, somebody's going to be U.S. champion. Does it really matter to you? Are you interested in the resolution? Are you interested in the resolution of Bray Wyatt and LA Knight? Do you care about how that is all going to turn out? Because I really don't. Do you care about the Judgment Day as a group? Because they've spent a ton of time on them, and I could not care less about those people. They come out, and I want to leave. Do you care about Bobby Lashley being fired and possibly coming back at some point? And what does MVP have to do with it? Who cares? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about the OC. I don't care about the Judgment Day. I don't care about any of these things. And I don't think anybody else does either. I don't think anybody really cares about the resolution of any of these things. Because there's never a resolution. You never have a clear resolution anyways. You have Bayley and Becky wrestling, and Bayley only won because her group interfered and the ref got distracted and Bayley used a weapon. Did Bayley really beat Becky? No. Could she beat Becky? I don't know. Did we get a resolution? Absolutely not. But we saw them wrestle for a while. So what did we get? Well, we got a waste of time. I don't need to see you putting on headlocks and throwing your little kicks for 15 minutes, and in the end you just hit somebody with a thing, and Bayley wins. And what does she win by beating Becky Lynch? It's Bayley versus Becky Lynch, two of your biggest stars. They're wrestling on Raw. What do you win by beating Becky Lynch? You win jack shit. I hate it. I hate it. There's no point to any of it. Triple H is doing this pointless booking. He's like, I think they like wrestling, right? They want to see the workers work, so we're going to get them out and they're going to work. I have no plan for the creative. Like, he's got no idea. I don't know what the hell's going on. Because there's no, like, the only story that has any kind of depth or layers is the bloodline thing. And even that is getting kind of stale. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, like, at least they've got John Cena making it more interesting. But that's it. Angelo said, you said it, Dave, they win nothing. They win nothing. You win nothing from all these matches. You're having all these matches. Most of them don't have a clean finish, and barely any of them mean anything. Like, we have this gauntlet match, right? That Raquel is going to win.
We called it
right?
last week.
She's going to win. Before the match even starts, Raquel's in it. She's winning. She's going to win. She wins eventually. She's going to wrestle Ronda next week for the belt. She's not winning. So what's the point?
No.
What's the point? Maybe Raquel will get screwed out of the match and they'll have a rematch at Royal Rumble? Is that the point? Because that's still not really a point, because then at the Royal Rumble, do you think Raquel's going to beat Ronda? No. So what is the point exactly? Make it dangerous.
Well,
make it interesting. Make us wonder. And then make a decision. And that's the real problem with the WWE. They can't make a decision on who goes where, who gets pushed, and how hard, and like, they don't want to push anybody. They want to keep everybody kind of, mid-level.
That's what they do, but
they don't want to make a decision. You know what I mean? When it's time to make a decision, they don't want to make it.
Well, I think because they already have a good idea of where they want this all to go. So they just try to keep everyone on the same level, because at some point maybe they'll want to change things up so it doesn't come out of absolute nowhere when Raquel might actually become champion. They're kind of testing the waters almost to see like if this will work out or not, to see if she can really get over. Like, they're trying to build sympathy for her with the whole broken arm, and like, oh, she's going to battle through it no matter what. It's hard to get over right now, and I feel like they're slowly getting her over by doing this. It's going to take a lot more time, though, and she's going to have those failures against Ronda to do it. It's what they did originally with Liv against Becky last year, I think. And look what happened.
It's also very hard to get over when you have these very strong champions at the top that no one really sees drop in their belts until at least WrestleMania. Like, you have Ronda, you have Roman.
Right.
It's hard to get anybody to believe in anybody else when Roman's probably going to be champ at Mania. Ronda's probably going to be champ at Mania going into the show, if not leaving Mania as champions too, right? So it's hard for anybody else to get any kind of momentum, because to gain momentum, you have to have fans that believe in you and believe in your chances. But it's hard to believe in anybody's chances right now. And it's one of the reasons why WWE is so stale. It's so stale.
Well, we've seen recently with the women, though, they have a fan base. Might be a crazy fan base, but they all have them.
Well, where's Liv Morgan's fan base now? They're not supporting her enough. She's not getting the big wins. And the Bray Wyatt thing, Bray Wyatt's got a thing with LA Knight, and he cut a promo, and then he attacked a cameraman. And Karrion Kross and Rey Mysterio are feuding in some kind of way. I don't know.
Well, I thought, again, Ray had the best match on SmackDown this week. Him and
But
Angel.
do you
I thought
care?
that was a good match.
Do you care how it all ends up with Karrion Kross and Rey Mysterio? Does it matter to you?
As long as it doesn't end with, because like the whole idea is that he's gonna end Ray, right? He's gonna
retire Ray.
Put him out like, I hope that doesn't happen. To be honest, like, no, I don't want that to end up like that. Like, you can beat Ray, just don't retire him.
Why not?
No, he's still good. Ray's one of the best wrestlers they got right now on the roster. I would actually put him all the way to the title.
John, the man is beat up. Let him go.
Hey.
He was gonna retire, but he wanted to, stay around for his son. His son has now got his own thing going. He's a solo act. He's established somewhat on his own. He doesn't need Ray there anymore to exist in WWE. I think if Ray wants to retire, he should. I feel like, I don't know, you got to want to walk for the rest of your life. I don't want to see Ray in a wheelchair. That guy's done enough. I don't know. I mean, if he wants to keep wrestling, sure, whatever. But I just feel like, I don't know. Ray, the story was he wanted to retire, but then Dominic was coming into the business, so he decided to stick around for a bit. But I don't know. He's 48 years old. You got Sting wrestling in his 60s, so who knows? But I figure he might retire. I could see Karrion Kross retiring him possibly at WrestleMania. Why not?
Well, I just feel that, I don't know if it's because of the stem cell surgery that he got, but it feels like there's new life in him. And like it feels like he can move around again. So,
yeah.
I mean, as long as he can keep going, keep him going, because he's one of the best things they have right now in terms of in-ring work. So get the most that you can out of him. I think you can get more out of him than just a Karrion Kross match.
His match with Angel Garza was the best match on SmackDown tonight, for sure. Rey Mysterio beating Angel Garza. Best match. Best thing on SmackDown.
I just think there's more you can do. I think, if you can do, Kevin versus Roman 4 times, I think you can do Ray and Roman at least one more time again.
You give Ray a title shot, you're saying? You said give Ray the title.
Yeah.
You didn't say give Ray the title, though. Like, you didn't think. Because that's...
No, I mean, I wouldn't mind. It won't happen, but I wouldn't mind that. But, at least give him the shot,
Emma smacked Scarlett backstage. She slapped her in the face. Does Scarlett wrestle?
She can.
Are they building towards Moss? Is he no longer Madcap Moss? Because Emma, I think, referred to him as Riddick Moss.
Because that's his real name, I think.
Okay. Is it, though?
You might want to look that up. I mean, they originally called him Rick Moss, did they not?
I don't think that's his real name. His name is Michael Carter Rowless.
And why do they call him Riddick? Like, that's weird that she did that. It's very odd.
I guess maybe he's going back to Riddick. Because he used to be Riddick Moss, and then they switched to Madcap Moss, but that was with the Baron Corbin thing, so I guess they're going back to Riddick.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound... Honestly, Madcap actually sounds better than Riddick.
Ridiculous. So maybe they're going to do a match at some point, Emma and Riddick against Scarlett and Cross. I'd like to see if Scarlett can wrestle. I've never seen her wrestle. Because all she does is weird poses. I don't know what her deal is. It's odd. She's odd.
The only thing I saw what happened with her is that I think she got groped in AAA one time. I don't know if you saw a clip of that.
I have not.
Yeah, Mexico, it's crazy sometimes.
I've heard.
That's something too. They were just in the crowd, like, no security around whatsoever, at least from what you could see. Like it just seemed like, oh, no problems whatsoever. WWE crowd very nice, pleasant. It's not like that in a lot of different wrestling fans. That's for sure.
Oh, this was not for WWE. You're saying this is another promotion before they were in WWE. She got
I
touched by
want
a
to say
fan.
it was like, yeah, I want to say it was AAA. I could be wrong, but it was definitely Mexico.
Well, that's bad.
Yeah.
Did Karrion Kross punch the man?
I don't know what happened. I think security just got involved. That's about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully the guy was dealt with. That's very uncool to do. So it'll be Alexa Bliss against Bianca Belair on Raw Monday, or on January 2nd, not this Monday, the following Monday, and then Austin Theory and Seth Rollins for the U.S. title as well. And then Raquel Rodriguez against Ronda for the SmackDown title, and Cena and Owens against Roman and Sammy for the SmackDown main event coming up next Friday, which is pretty damned exciting. How about AEW? We talked a little bit about Dynamite before.
Just Rick Ross.
The Rick Ross thing, basically, which was crazy.
Yeah.
What else
You
happened
didn't see
on the
when
show?
he told the Lexi Nair, like, you're pretty cute. You should come to my G-Wagon.
Oh, my
You
God.
didn't see that part?
Did he say that? That was this. Where did this promo air that you're talking about?
Oh, I think you just look for it on the internet or on
It's
YouTube.
like on
Like
YouTube
it's
or
there.
something?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But Rick Ross, man, he's great. I definitely think he should be with Swerve all the time. He should be on Dynamite every week. He's the replacement for Dan Lambert.
Do you have a favorite Rick Ross song, John? Like, I don't know you as a Rick. Like, you're wearing a Slayer hoodie, so you're not like a. You're not really into hip hop music. I'm surprised you're such a big Rick Ross fan. Are you just a fan of his wrestling gimmick, or are you a fan of his music as well?
The one song, what's it? Every Day I'm Hustling.
Every day I'm hustling, yeah. Real
That's
hard.
a great song.
Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge Rick Ross fan.
That's fine, but I just find he stands out though in this. And if you look at the group, he's probably the best part. I mean, Swerve's the wrestling part, but in terms of the entertainment, I think he brings the most entertainment to this group.
Well, it makes sense that he's in wrestling, because from what I understand, his whole rap gimmick is a gimmick. 50 Cent had a whole thing with him where he said basically Rick Ross used to be like a prison guard, and he's not really a gangster, and he's just kind of pretending for the raps, which is possible. Who knows? But he does seem to talk about selling cocaine quite a bit, Rick Ross. And there was talk that it was untrue, that he does not sell cocaine. Only in rap can it be an asset for you to have sold cocaine. And the more cocaine you have sold, the more legitimate you are as a rap artist, which is odd, right? That's like the only line of work where it's like one of the prerequisites is like, have you sold cocaine? Yes, I have. Oh, well, you are perfect for this job as rap artist. Can you rhyme words? Yes. Have you sold cocaine? Yes. Have you done prison time? Yes. Right this way, sir. Pretty good. It's a good line of work.
Not bad, I guess.
For cocaine
The only
dealers,
thing
I guess.
They just might want to keep him away from a live mic because I don't know if they can control his mouth.
Like
in
so
terms of the
many
swearing.
so many rappers talk about selling cocaine, have sold cocaine. The backbone of the
You
hip
don't
hop
want
industry.
that on television. You don't want that on television whatsoever.
Right?
It's not good. It's not good. Like I love it because he's just being himself, but that won't keep AEW on TV if that happens, though.
No. You don't want your wrestling managers to be bragging about how much cocaine they have sold in the past. Right? That's not a traditional brag of wrestling managers. Right? But for rappers, very common brag. Rick Ross, Pusha T, even the great Jay-Z. Lots of
Wow.
cocaine sales. I mean, Rockefeller Records was basically drug money that started it, and they have talked about it. That's documented fact. Jay-Z's whole record label, his whole thing, was funded by drug money. Jay-Z was from what I understand, major cocaine and crack dealer before he was a rapper. Like, he was, and he's talked about it in his raps and in interviews. And a lot of rappers, it's a common thing. It's a common thing in the rap world.
Is it next week or the week after that Bow Wow is coming back?
Oh, wow. I don't think he sold any cocaine because he was quite young when he started rapping. He was just a talented little kid, right? He was Lil Bow Wow.
Little Bow Wow.
I don't know if you know this, but before Bow Wow was Bow Wow, he was Lil Bow Wow. And he was very popular.
I only know Little Bow Wow, to be honest. Yeah. I'm like, wow, he grew up.
Well, that's it. He's basically like a child star at this point. But he's still going for some reason. Is he coming back to wrestle Jade Cargill or to confront her somehow?
Wasn't that supposed to happen when they go to LA?
I don't know. They're not in LA yet though, right?
It's coming.
11th of January.
Okay.
They'll be in Seattle first.
Oh, for Brian, that's good.
Do you think they do Brian MJF in Seattle?
No. Like, maybe a confrontation, but that's about it. Not going to do the match. Like, isn't Brian wrestling Ethan Page next week? Because of what happened on Dynamite this week.
Yeah, that's in Denver on the 28th of December. But the following week, they're in Seattle. So it's going to be huge for Bryan Danielson. I don't know what they're going to do, but January 4th, the first Dynamite of the year, is in Seattle. And then the first Rampage of the year is going to be live in Portland, Oregon. So, pretty big shows they have coming up in January, right to start the year. Both wrestling companies looking to start off strong. Ricky Starks started off Dynamite this week with a promo. Talked about losing to MJF last week. Says he came that close this time. Imagine what's going to happen next. Chris Jericho came out, started talking about Ricky Starks. He says he likes him and wants him to join the Jericho Appreciation Society. Ricky says Jericho constantly reinvents himself. He used to look like an air fryer, but now he's lean and dressing like a single dad on his 5th divorce.
Yikes.
And Ricky says he doesn't want to join the group. And he says, but after what Jericho did last week, losing to that guy, Andretti, the J in JAS should stand for jobbers. He also called Jericho a clout vampire, which I thought was interesting.
Interesting, yeah. Well, some people feel that way.
Yeah, some people feel that way.
But
some people feel that Jericho attaches himself to anything kind of hot and interesting in AEW. And Ricky Starks kind of made a point to say something about that. And he called Sammy and Danny the jassholes for the Jericho Appreciation Society. And then they set up a match with Jericho on the January 4th show from Seattle. So it'll be Jericho versus Starks, I think. I don't know if that's official, but Ricky Starks challenged Jericho at least for the January 4th show. He didn't challenge him for next week. He challenged him for a match in 2 weeks. I don't know why.
Because I guess the 28th is already booked, I guess. Like, I don't know.
He's not allowed in the state of Colorado for some reason. Who knows? Jake Hager attacked Ricky from behind. Garcia and Guevara jumped in with Jericho. But then Action Andretti showed up and made the save and cleared the ring. They all ran away from Andretti. So Andretti, I guess, aligning himself with Ricky Starks. Maybe they'll do a tag match next week and the singles match the week after, or just why? Why overwork Jericho?
I don't know what to do with that. I think this was just mainly to get Andretti out there again.
Yeah.
Because, the follow-up of the success of last week, like, you got to at least have him do something. Because, like, you got a big win, you should follow that up. I mean, if you're not going to have a match, at least have him involved.
They gave him a promo too. Talked about beating Jericho last week. And then Daddy Magic and Angelo Parker show up and distract him, and Jericho shows up behind him and shoots a fireball in his face. So Andretti has been lit on fire. Who knows if he's burnt to a crisp now? I don't know if we got an update on Andretti. He got lit on fire, and it's just like, yeah, keep moving on with the show. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I assume
it was weird. It was weird. I felt Andretti felt more like a heel in that promo. Because he felt very confident, a little overconfident, sounded like. Kind of egotistical.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's good to be confident, but it just felt like it was a little over the top. But, you know, it's okay to have that attitude. The fireball was weird because, like, he's looking at 2.0 and then suddenly, for no reason, he turns around, oh, fireball. So that was awkward, but whatever. The fireball shot looked good at least.
Yeah, it looked really good. A little too good. I was like, man, did he really get burnt? Because it's hard not to. I don't know.
Yeah, it may have singed him, but
yeah,
who knows?
Did MJF get the week off? He did, right?
He was there.
No,
he
he
was
did
there.
it. Was he there?
Well, you saw him, like, when Brian was doing the promo, you saw him looking on backstage.
Oh, he was just backstage, though. I don't think he was really... I don't know if he was really there. Because you could just show him... Like, that could have been... Because he never came out to the crowd. He wasn't on Rampage. He wasn't on Dynamite in front of the crowd in the ring. There was a promo that they showed from the previous week after he'd beat Ricky Starks. He did a promo about Bryan Danielson because Danielson had run out there after the match.
Right.
But I don't know if MJF was really there. Because Bryan cut a promo, right, and MJF was there watching the promo, but he was backstage watching the promo. I think they gave him the week off. I mean, if I'm MJF, like, why am I there? You know, why traveled to Texas if all I'm going to be doing is standing backstage watching a TV screen for like 20 seconds? Right? I figured they gave him the week off. I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I would assume that he wasn't actually there because he didn't have a match. He didn't come out to do a promo. There was nothing really from MJF. I don't know.
Not impossible, but I feel like when you're the world champion, like, you should be on the show almost every week in some capacity.
Yeah, but he wasn't.
Might be
really.
small, but I mean, kind of was. They made sure he was featured at least in some capacity. So, was he actually there or not? Who knows?
The
he
Elite
needs to be featured.
Yeah, for sure. You got to show his face. The Elite beat the Death Triangle. It's now 3-2 in the best of 7 match, best of 7 series. This match was all right. Pretty good.
Well, I mean, it was just chaos, right?
Yeah.
And that works. The only thing I just felt like it should have ended like probably 5 minutes earlier. Like I felt they hit enough, but they kept going and going and going, which that's what they do. But no, it was fine in the end. But again, it's like you just had this no DQ match, a lot of crazy brawling, and now we're gonna do Falls Count Anywhere next week. Like it's not that big of a difference, that kind of match, I find, from what we just saw. Just there was more brawling outside in the arena, possibly. Yeah. That's about it.
In the crowd and stuff.
Well, that's not that much. That's not better, I don't find.
No. Maybe we'll see some weird dives, though, off something. Who knows?
They got some sort of setup set backstage. I'll help. They'll need it, I think.
Yeah. Bryan Danielson did a promo, talked about San Antonio and learning to wrestle in San Antonio because that's where the show was. He talked about William Regal and how much... What?
You mentioned you got trained by Shawn Michaels. I got a pop, or Shawn Michaels chant, HBK chant.
Well, you're in the hometown of one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and Bryan was trained by him in that city. I mean, he's talking about his history in San Antonio. You got to mention Shawn Michaels. It's hard not to. Why not? HB Shizzle. He's a legend of wrestling at this point. It's not like, oh, he's one of their guys. He's not wrestling anymore. He's like an old-timer. You can mention him.
Yeah, I know. Well, especially San Antonio. I mean,
yeah,
it makes sense. It's just kind of interesting. I mean, he is still a WWE employee, so it's just interesting to hear that.
Brian talked about Regal and how much he loves Regal and how much he's meant to the whole wrestling business. And MJF is going to have some consequences for attacking Regal. And he's going to get his, and he's going to get revenge on MJF. And he calls out MJF, but Ethan Page and Stokely Hathaway come out instead. And Page is upset that Brian seems to be next in line for a title shot, even though he made it to the finals of the title shot tournament. And he was in the final 2 of the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. But Brian wasn't even in the tournament or the Battle Royal, so I don't know. Paige called him Vegetable Man. And Brian tells Stokely to grow some hair because the glare off his head is distracting him. And then Stokely didn't like that and called Brian a raggedy bitch a couple of times, which I thought was pretty funny. Just the delivery on "you raggedy bitch" from Stokely Hathaway I thought was pretty good. And they set up a match next week, Ethan Page versus Bryan Danielson. Decent promo. I liked the dynamic between Bryan and Stokely Hathaway. I'd like to see more of that somehow. I think there's something there.
Well, I think the match should be pretty good. I mean, Page is getting better and better every time we see him. Like, I feel like he's up in his game, and what better way to up your game than against one of the best wrestlers in the world? So, it should be a very good match. Obviously, though, I think Bryan's going to win because they're building him towards MJF.
Yep, for sure. Hook beat some guy in a squash.
It was someone named Prime.
Yep, Optimus Prime, I think. He's a Transformer.
I don't believe it was Optimus. No,
Yeah.
leader of the Transformers was not there, but someone named Prime was there, yes.
Mm-hmm. And then after the match, you saw on the big screen Stokely Hathaway, Lee Moriarty, and Big Bill beating up Jungle Boy. And then Big Bill chokeslammed Jungle Boy into a dumpster, and Hook kind of made his way backstage with some haste, but not really much of a... Like, he didn't seem like he was walking with a lot of urgency to help his buddy. He was kind of like, he's beat up already. What am I going to do?
That's it. Damage is done. Like, I understand.
Yeah.
Like, well, what can you do?
I don't know. Something. John Moxley beat one of the top flight guys with his DDT.
It was Darius.
Yeah, okay. Sure it was. Sure it was, John.
It was.
Mm-hmm. That was not a shocker. The shocker of the night was the Ass Boys beating FTR. One ass boy held the other ass boy for leverage, held his hand on the pinfall with the roll-up, and they kind of cheated to win. One ass boy holding the illegal ass boy's hand. And they beat FTR. The Ass Boys.
But not that, to me, it wasn't that big of a shock, because, like, you saw Dax came out with his leg all taped up, and he was selling it throughout the whole match. He could barely even walk. So it's like, I mean, they're selling their injuries from the dog collar match. To me, it just kind of made sense. It's like, if Billy's Kids were ever going to win, it had to be then, because they were selling throughout the whole match, FTR.
Yeah, but I didn't think Billy's Kids were ever going to win against FTR. But they did. The Ass Boys actually beat FTR. It doesn't matter how they did it, John. They beat FTR. It's the biggest win of their career. It's the Ass Boys.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Pretty big.
Yeah. And the main event was decent. Jamie Hayter beat Hikaru Shida. See, like, this main event made sense. Like, this is what booking is supposed to be. Like, we had a finish. There was a little help from Britt Baker and Rebel, a little cheating to win for Jamie Hayter, but it was a title match in the main event. We had a finish. We're not going to revisit Hayter and Shida next week in some other form. you know? So it
Right.
doesn't get stale right away. It's like, oh, Shida was a long-reigning champion. Hayter's a new champion. Hayter just beat her. She kind of cheated to win, so there's still an unresolved issue, but we're going to let it linger and let it be resolved down the road because Hayter's got some other business to tend to right now. You know, like it's not overdone and it's not kind of rehashed week after week. This is what the WWE needs to stop doing. They need to stop giving us the same types of matches every single week between the same people. The same people have to stop interacting with each other all the time. They get stuck in these little bubbles, and then it's far less interesting. In AEW, they kind of mix it up more, and it makes for a more dynamic show. And then, you know, like we have Hayter beating Shida, and that's one thing, and then after the match, Britt and Rebel are putting the boots to Shida, but Toni Storm comes out and she tries to make the save, and she does for a bit, but then Hayter hits her with the belt. Then Saraya comes out and clotheslines Rebel, super kicks Britt, and clears the ring. So then you're setting that up, and you've got this whole other thing going on with Saraya and Toni Storm and Hayter and Britt Baker. And that seems to be the match. I know they're setting up a big match for January 11th in LA. It was supposed to be Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker against Saraya and a mystery opponent. I told you that I just expected it to be Toni Storm. A lot of people were excited about possibly Sasha Banks or Naomi or something coming into the company and being Saraya's tag team partner. I just assumed it'd be Toni Storm. And then this week on Dynamite, with Toni Storm coming out and then Saraya coming to save her, it seemed like that was the direction. I don't know what everybody's getting so excited about. I don't think we're getting Sasha Banks in AEW.
Well, whether we are or not, I don't know if it's going to be Toni Storm because they said Toni wasn't cleared to wrestle.
Yeah,
So I don't know
that's bullshit because she... Okay.
I don't disagree,
John,
but that's
what are
the
you, a
story
mark?
they're saying.
What are you, a...
So that's the story.
What is the matter with you? She's not cleared to wrestle. Did you see Dynamite?
Right, but that's the
Did
story
she
they're
hit
saying.
people?
So, like,
Did she do wrestling
of
stuff?
course,
Did she take a bump?
of course.
Then she's
but
cleared to
that's
wrestle.
the story.
Then she's cleared to wrestle. What the
But
fuck?
why would they say she isn't if it's not part of the story? So
To swerve you so that when it is her, it's like, oh, it is Toni Storm. She's cleared. Great. That will be what they give you. It's like, no, they're gonna keep it a mystery, and then the mystery is, oh, Toni Storm's actually okay and she can do it. Lame.
all right, I think I mentioned to you this before. Like, if it's not going to be Sasha, they need to announce who it's going to be before we get to January 11th. Because if you're on January 11th and Toni Storm just comes out as the mystery person, that's going to get a very negative reaction. So they need to
Maybe.
announce this early on.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. Next week or the week after, just announce that it's Toni Storm. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be Sasha Banks. It would be cool, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't seem like that's where they're headed.
Well, apparently Sasha is in Japan, so her in New Japan, that's apparently going to happen, it looks like.
She's going to do Wrestle Kingdom.
Well, I don't know if she's wrestling, but apparently appearing in some capacity. Like,
That's cool.
that seems to be is going to happen.
Nice. Kenny and Ospreay is going to be ridiculous at Wrestle Kingdom.
I could imagine. I surprised you aren't pissed at Bronson Reed. Like, he was posting like, "Oh, I'm best friends with the Miz, and I beat Okada." Like that apparently upset a lot of people.
Why?
Well, just putting over that the Miz is a great guy, and he's also the guy that beat Okada. Like, I guess a lot of people
Wow.
think that it's disrespectful to Okada to be friends with the Miz, I guess.
No, I think that's fine. I think that's just,
Yeah, I think it's fine too.
He's just saying, like, look at the differences in wrestling. Wrestling Okada one day and then hanging out with the Miz the next. It's like a crazy world. I think that's more of like, hey, I I've wrestled the best wrestler in the world, and now I'm with The Miz. Isn't that crazy? I think that's more the comment. Like, I go from Okada to The Miz. What? People are taking it the wrong way, maybe, but I see it as like Bronson saying, like, man, I used to wrestle this guy, but now I'm with this guy, and I don't know. Money.
Okay. There's no grievances there. Any grievances against Lacey Evans? Have you caught any of that? Because apparently she posted something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Lacey Evans thinks that vaccinating your kids causes them to have autism, right?
I don't know if it's part of that. It's
something
a lot
like
of weird
that.
stuff. Apparently
she posted something like that.
Foods or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Lacey's, she's posting some wacky stuff on Instagram. Look, I'm not surprised. I don't really have grievances with Lacey Evans. You seen her gimmick?
Well, apparently she's going to debut next week is what the promo said.
Yeah. That gimmick might work in certain parts of America. Try, babyface in the States, heel overseas. Like, that gimmick is not going to work in any other country but the States. Yeah.
Well, I think if it catches on that people think that she's like this non-believer of autism, like, it's going to get a lot of heat, I think.
I think she believes in autism. She just thinks that weird things are causing it. I don't know. She's got some odd beliefs. I wonder about what she's got going on as far as what she's thinking. But then again, I don't care. She's a pro wrestler. She's not a thought leader. I don't care about what Lacey Evans thinks or doesn't think about vaccines or food or whatever. I mean, she could do whatever the hell she wants. If her kids get polio, her kids get polio. It is what it is. And my kids, I don't live anywhere near my kids, so I'm not dealing with Lacey Evans. Am I surprised that she has some odd political stances? No. And not because of who she is, but because of, the nature of the beast that is pro wrestling. Ask Braun Strowman what he thinks about everything, and, ask Bray Wyatt what he thinks about things. Doesn't Bray Wyatt believe in lizard people and flat earth? I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? I mean, we're talking about pro wrestlers. We're not talking about Nobel Prize winners here. I'm not saying pro wrestlers are all dumb. I'm just saying that you don't have to be a genius to be a pro wrestler. And some pro wrestlers are not geniuses. Like Randy Orton. What did Jericho write that Randy Orton said about himself? He's one light bulb short of a knife drawer or something, or I don't know. He's not so sharp, is the point.
Well, he's got to be something because he's lasted for so long in WWE. I feel like he might be the longest tenured wrestler ever in WWE if you think about it.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. All right, John. I'm just saying some people aren't operating with a full deck. Doesn't mean they can't be great professional wrestlers. It just means that sometimes they're not so swift. They may say things that don't make a lot of sense. And when it happens, I'm not surprised.
Well, this the same guy that, crapped in bags, allegedly, apparently failed 3 wellness tests, had to get rehired because of that.
Why are we talking about Randy Orton now?
Because you mentioned Randy Orton.
You're just obsessed.
You're airing the grievances, apparently. I have no grievances against Randy Orton. I think Randy's great.
What did I say about Randy Orton? I got no grievances. What are my grievances? I didn't say anything about Randy Orton. I'm just saying that Jericho wrote in his book that Randy Orton was stupid. I was proving the point that some wrestlers can be dumb but successful at wrestling. Like Randy Orton, who Jericho wrote in his book, was dumb. So I don't think it's me that has a problem with Orton. Maybe it's your boy Jericho. John. You just took the
Well,
opportunity to start talking about Randy Orton. Turn into AJ
Which
over
we-
here. I give you a little
can just
bit, and
keep
you're like,
talking
oh,
Randy,
let me
it's
talk about
fine.
Randy Orton. You're like a fanboy.
We can talk about Randy a lot if we want. It's fine.
Nah, I'm good. It's
We can talk
past
about AJ
midnight.
too.
It's Christmas Eve,
Merry
John.
Christmas,
It's
AJ.
over. We're not talking about Randy Orton anymore. It's the holiday season. I'm done with Randy Orton. All right?
We can talk about AJ some more if you want. Happy holidays, AJ, to you and your family.
Yeah, we love you, AJ. And everybody else watching, everybody supporting the Ringside Report Network over the year. We appreciate you. We are not taking time off. We are going to be back next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Ringside Report MMA, and next Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time for Wrestling Uncensored. Shout out to all our friends, all our members, Angelo Contagonis, Doug Hepburn, members of the team supporting the Ringside Report Network. Thank you, Doug. You're the Super Chat leader of the night. Shout out to everybody watching live and watching after and everything. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Night 6 coming up on last 2 nights of Hanukkah this weekend. Hope everybody enjoying the Festival of Lights. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas to all my friends. Merry Christmas to you, Johnny North. I have a Christmas present for you, but there's currently a storm going on outside, so I don't know if I'm going to leave my house until Boxing Day. But I want to see it before Christmas, so we'll talk. We'll see what we can do.
Well, fortunately, the show stayed on the air. I was a little bit worried because they were saying that we were going to lose power. So thankfully,
Yes.
no problems.
I was watching Smackdown earlier, and my lights flickered.
Super
Uh-oh.
chat. Super chat.
Yeah. Earlier tonight, my lights kind of flickered in my house. I was like, uh-oh, am I going to lose power here? Because the wind is crazy outside. It's a real windy, snowy mess. So be careful, anybody that's out on the roads tonight. It's real rough. Thank you, Angelo Contagonis, dropping the Super Chat. New Super Chat leader, Angelo. Feels like the good old days when Angelo and Doug were Super Chat battling. Angelo dropping a Super Chat at the end of the show to win the Super Chat battle. We haven't seen that from Angelo in a while. They used to be like an Angelo staple, you know? Every show,
Yep.
Angelo would come in and like drop the Super Chat at the end of the night to win the battle.
Sometimes you call in.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be good to hear from Angelo again soon. We should see Angelo, too. We should see Angelo and get together with people. I want to do a little get-together before Elimination Chamber for everybody going somewhere, possibly. Or maybe not the Chamber, maybe the Smackdown. I don't know. We'll see. It's tough, man.
Closer to the date. Closer to
It's
the date.
tough.
We're not February yet.
But thank you, Angelo. We appreciate you, man. Merry Christmas to you. But I believe your Christmas is not right away. I mean, are you right? Isn't Greek Christmas a little later? When is Greek Christmas? Oh, December 25th? It's the same? Or January 7th? Right? I know some Greek people. I know Angelo is Greek. And I know there's like another Christmas, right? Do I have that right?
There is another Christmas, but I don't know if it's Greek, though.
I thought it was Greek. Well, it's like Greek Orthodox. I don't know if Angelo celebrates that or celebrates the regular Christmas or the Greek Christmas. I don't know. There's different Christmases.
There is, but a lot of people just put it on the 25th because most people have the holiday on the 25th, right?
Oh,
So-
Angelo's is Sunday. But I know some, right? There's another. I do have that right, though, Angelo, right? There's like some people that celebrate, like a lot of Greek people. I've known some Greek people that celebrate a different Christmas. But Angelo does not. He celebrates the Christmas on December 25th, which is Sunday. So anybody celebrating the Greek Christmas, regular Christmas, not Christmas at all, if you're going to watch a movie and have some Chinese food on Christmas, I respect it. I love it. And happy Hanukkah. And John, when's your next match? When can people see you in the ring?
Well, no date's official yet because you're not into the new year yet. So I'll let you know in January when things open up again because everyone's pretty much off for the holidays now. So until then, it's just happy holidays, happy new year. And we will be back next week for a show. We actually will do a show next Friday. So you haven't got rid of us yet in 2022.
Eastern Orthodox. There you go. Thank you, Angelo. All right. Well, we'll find out in 2023 what Johnny North has planned. He's going to have some big old matches. And I've got plans for 2023 as well. I can't tell you what they are. They're secret. But I'll tell you. Maybe I'll tell you in 2023. I also have secret plans, okay, John? But mine are top secret.
Does AJ know?
Nobody knows. Not even me.
Oh, wow. That's even better.
Crazy. Keep me on my toes. Keep myself on my own toes. Okay, guys. Thanks, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We love you. We thank you. Angelo, you're the Super Chat leader of the night. Thank you, my friend. Out in Laval, everybody in the Montreal, Quebec area, stay safe, stay warm. It's a crazy one out there. And my man Patrick in Regina telling me last night it was like minus 40. Or no, maybe minus 35 or something with the wind chill in Regina. It was like minus 25, but then with wind chill, it was like minus 35. Very cold out there. So rough weather all over Canada. So shout out to all my Canadians suffering through December. We just got January and February, and then March, you're basically out of the woods. We'll get there. We'll get there.
No, at least we're not on lockdown this year, at least.
Yeah, right? At least we're not in lockdown and we can see our families and stuff, and things are better. Things are better. So there you go. 3 more months of winter, and then bada bing, bada boom, springtime, baseball, Aaron Judge, Carlos Rodon. Shout out to Aaron Judge, named captain. We salute you. Captain of the New York Yankees. From Derek Jeter now to Aaron Judge, the new captain of the Yankees. A great title for a man who will spend his entire major league career with the greatest franchise in professional sports. So I am eternally grateful that Aaron Judge signed with the Yankees, and looking forward to a great 2023 season in the Bronx with the new signing of Carlos Rodon. Yanks looking very good. Promising. Promising, John. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Good luck against the Red Sox.
The Red Sox. Call me when they make the playoffs. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern for Ringside Report MMA. We will be doing the year-end review, best of fights of the year, card of the year, all sorts of fighter of the year, things like that, coming up on Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time with AJ on Ringside Report MMA right here on the Ringside Report Network.
Please join in and give your support to Ringside Report Network. We've been providing expert coverage and commentary on both pro wrestling and MMA for over 15 years. Go to ringsidereport.net/support to find out more ways to support the channel.